We're going to do the Animal Control Board meeting first. We've got a discussion that we need to have, so I'll go ahead and call the Animal Control Board to order. Discussion is the funds that are available with the donation account. The Animal Control have a need for 2 vehicles. When we were going through the budget, we figured that we could use those funds for their 2 vehicle needs. So that will be the discussion. If there's any comments on that?
That account averages between $20,000 and $25,000 at a time. It's right now we're sitting at $24,291 in that account. That won't buy outright 2 brand new vehicles. So I don't know what options you want to look at. It would obviously make lease payments on 2 vehicles. It could buy some used vehicles, but it averages about $20,000 to $24,000, and that continues basically to roll every year. They're not really spending a lot annually. They net probably, because of what they bring in, minus what they turn over to us, they net about $15,000 a year.
We had sat down with Autumn. I know some of the vehicles we looked at were the chassis and then have the box actually put on the chassis, so it would be more like a traditional animal control vehicle. She had some, right now, and you know how big the girls are, they're not that very big. When they get a dog, they have to sling them up into the vehicle. And there are some accessories with this vehicle that will help them with having that cage, and having a ramp going up. So there's a lot of varieties out there. But as far as the funds, that was a discussion that we had, was that we could use those funds if we were to lease or purchase the vehicles.
Do they have a recommendation, or do we just need to, do they have something they think they want?
I think that's the next step, is to identify.
I don't see any reason that these funds couldn't be used to go toward that. It's funds that come in from adoptions and donations. And
I think what we talked when we were talking to Autumn is she probably just need like a single cab half-ton truck. And if we did one of the boxes, and I was just discussing it with her, we could just do the chassis and put a box on one, and then leave the other one as a traditional bed.
Autumn, is that okay with you as far as, is that your recommendation that those funds are, and the people that make those donations, would they have any problem with that? Are they kind of for animals, or or anything you want to use it for, those funds?
We use those funds for spaying and neutering, but we always get back a certain amount to re-put it back into the donation account, so we're not really spending, we're stabilizing the account. So it's not really getting used, because everything we use we try to recoup and put back.
So you're not taking those funds, wouldn't be taken away from the animals to provide for the vehicles and so forth? You're all right with that plan?
In the past, we have used those funds to purchase the white truck that we have now. We paid half of that, and some cat stuff we've used it for. All of our adoption money goes back to the Fiscal Court, so those are all through donations. And we do, right now we don't have a truck that can pull a horse trailer, so we really need something that can pull a horse trailer. They're just not working properly.
I'd move that we allow those funds to be used as needed for vehicles.
Second.
They have to bring it back, come back with a recommendation.
First and the second, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. There's
Advertisement.
well, that'll be so there's no other discussion.
I have to understand that, donations certainly aren't guaranteed, so if, whatever we do, it might require
Correct.
fiscal court funds.
So we're going to put it in the form of what kind of lease program, a purchase program, or is that going to come back to us in which tool vehicle we're going to use?
The board that manages those funds, we just made the motion, so that gave us the authority to, as a board, to use those monies. When we go in the fiscal court, we'll actually, as a fiscal court, we'll determine the lease agreement or how we're going to
Okay, so it'll
proceed.
come back to us then.
Yeah. So there's no further discussion. Entertain a motion to come out of the donation, animal control donation board meeting.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have scheduled a public hearing for fair dealing Olive Fire Department. So we'll go ahead and I'll call the public hearing to order, May 1st, 2018. Jeff, do you got any literature that you need to speak on? They did file with the clerk's office, and we did announce last meeting that we'd have a public hearing today. And this is to annex the Pioneer District. Portion of it. Chief, do you got any comments you want to?
Myself and the chief of the Pioneer District, Lynn Green, kind of came to each other after we received the new 911 maps, and he thought it was a good idea, and I thought it was a good idea to annex this portion, number one, because of the floods in reference to response times. And also, we cover one side of Tubbs Road. They cover the other. They thought it was better business for us to cover the whole thing. They thought it was ours in the beginning for the last 10 years. They thought it was part of Fair Dealing Olive Fire District. So we kind of approached each other mutually, and their board agreed, and the Fair Dealing Olive board agreed also that to go ahead and obtain this, or try to obtain this property for better fire coverage. And that's why I'm here today.
Okay.
Does this annexation take up the rest of the Pioneer District?
No, it does not.
There's still some left that will be covered by the city
Yes.
of Benton.
Yes,
West Marshall took a portion.
yes, they did.
How big of an area is left?
There should be area on Dogtown Road. I'm not sure, other than that, what there is. But this went a whole lot better, I believe, than what the West Marshall annexation went.
You gotten any feedback from the people that live out there?
No, sir. I had one phone call, and that was from a reporter from the Marshall Daily News asking me questions about the annexation, and I hope that I answered her questions very well.
Okay.
Judge, it's my belief that the statutory requirements have been met in regard to the filing and recording with the county clerk. And if this court believes that this annexation is appropriate and all that is in proper order, you can vote to approve that, and then you would sign off on the order.
Okay.
Move that we accept Chief Tommy Dobbs' recommendation.
The three announced 3 times. Is there anybody for?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Anyone else?
Just so that we're meeting the statutory requirements, is there anybody here for the annexation? I know you're here for it. Is there anybody here for the annexation? Is there anybody here for the annexation? Okay. Is there anybody here against the annexation? Is there anybody here against the annexation? Is there anybody here against the annexation? Okay. I think we can move now for a motion.
And I move that we accept Chief Tommy Dobbs's recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll come out of the public hearing. We'll go ahead and call Marshall County Fiscal Court to order May 1st, 2018. First on their guest is ABC Director Scott Brown.
This quarter will be for the January 1st, 2018 through March 31st, 2018, with the breakdown on the first part of the form there. We netted $59,549.15.
What's that do in comparison to that quarter last year?
It's roughly the same as it was last year. Of course, we didn't have to give back
Right.
last year, so.
So it's increasing $5,841 if it's roughly the same because of the laws change, we have to give it back, okay? So it's trending upwards over the last year.
I'd say we're more on even keel than trending
Well,
upwards.
$5,841 wouldn't be on even keel if it's increased that much, and
Well,
we're
I
still even
included-
from
it was-
last
I think
year.
it was 64, 65 last time, so I included the 5,000.
Okay, so that's, it's, okay.
We do have 3 new stores that will be opening shortly with the 3 that we lost, so we will be back up to 14 stores in the county.
So 3 private clubs bring you more money than 6 restaurants.
When some of the restaurants are closed during the winter months, this was January through March, so half of the restaurants are closed during the winter months.
Has anybody got any other questions for Scott? Appreciate it, Scott. All right. I don't see, is Brian here, or Rivercrest, somebody from Rivercrest? No? All right. Just to give y'all an update, Chad was gonna come in and give an update on the sanitation expansion. He sent some notes. I'll just kind of read off on this just to give everybody an update on this. The last communication with the school on the expansion, as far as the project, we're a month behind on this project. The portion that they are waiting on is the easements, and the best way to explain it would be north of the effluent on the school property. And Chad had put together some numbers here because those easements, they wanted to get a dollar amount for the value of the property, for fair market value. So permanent utility easement at 27,580 square foot at 0.5 square foot is $13,790. And a temporary construction easement for 61,760 square foot at 75 cents a square foot is $15,440 for a total of $29,230. Option 1, the estimated fair market value of the requested easements upstream of the Marshall County High School treatment plant connection based on units paid to property owners on other utility projects, $29,230. And then option 2, if however the property appraised for $50,000 an acre, let's see, paid at 50 cents on the dollar, 50,000 times 63 times 0.5 is 15,750. And then TCE are paid at 0.25 on the dollar, 50,000 times 1.42 times 0.25, which is $17,750 for a total of $33,500. So these are some estimates that Rivercrest has put together to show the fair market value of those easements. And that's upstream from the effluent there at the high school. So the project we're waiting on the high school to find out on their easements. Basically, all the engineers need is a letter of intent so that we can get this to bid, and we can actually bid the project. I think Bacon Farmer Workman and the Rivercrest engineers are supposed to have a meeting. As soon as I get that date, I'll let y'all know. But we're a month behind on this project, and I know the district's been ready to go. So
The easements are all in hand?
for the district, yes. Other
It's
than
like 23 or 24? No, there was 40-something easements, wasn't there?
you talking for
They
the
just
school?
recently got those in hand. They've got all of them in hand, all but on the school property.
Right.
I think that's right.
42, I
They
believe,
just-
42.
42 of them, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the only ones they're waiting on is the school
Yeah,
property
I guess.
easements. Let's see, under correspondence,
Judge, before you, we've got a group here from Story Cemetery that I think the problem has been solved. Well, they're patiently waiting and so forth, so they won't have to sit through the rest of the meeting. And can we
Yeah,
let them?
I think that's already been taken care of. I think, did you explain to them? The road department, I know Roy's gone out and got the property owner's signature so that the road department can go in and remove the big debris. And Tom Hyder, I think maybe there might have been some confusion when Tom had originally had talked to us. We were going to be doing a meeting here in Fiscal Court, but after talking with Jeff, there was no need to do that. We just needed to get the property owner's signature, and then the road department can go out and remove the big debris. Now, there is some concerns with it being a cemetery and some of the headstones. I think talking with Roy, there's going to have to be some work around with those headstones. And Tom Hyder, who's the chairman of the cemetery board, is going to have to be involved to give Roy and his crew advice on the best way to do that. From the sounds of it, right now the road department is going to take out the big debris. I think the landowner tried to, but he didn't have the proper equipment. So the county, in trying to maintain these cemeteries, that's where we're going to step in. We're going to try to get this debris out of the cemetery. But there is going to have to be some discussion as far as, I think there's a big stump that's overturned on one of the trees that if there's some work done on it, there may have to be some filling in to get the ground back to its original condition. But that's going to be with the road department working with the cemetery board. So what we did is we got the landowner to sign off on it so that they could be out there doing that. And he just got the signature on it. So he's going to move forward with the road department and cleaning up that debris. And he'll work with Tom Hyder. If you need to contact anybody, Roy or Wendy, they're going to be doing the work. So definitely contact either one of them at the road department. But we didn't feel that we need to have a meeting on it since it is a cemetery in the county, and the county's responsible for maintaining some of those private cemeteries. Yes, sir.
So you're saying that the highway department, or I mean, the road department is gonna try to get the trees that's back in there that's hard to get out?
Yes.
And-
They need a permission. What we've got is the road department has a form that the landowner gives permission for them to go on the property to clean that up. But yes,
There's probably a few tombstones that's just been turned over because of the big trees root wadded out.
yes,
So, you know, either the root wad's gonna be cut off, put back in a hole, or took completely out.
Yes, and that's one of the concerns that Roy brought up, and that's where Tom, the cemetery board, we've got funds in their account. They are to maintain and manage the cemeteries. So that's where Tom's going to have to step in to figure out the best way to where we don't disturb the headstones and try to get it back to its original condition. But yeah, the bigger items, the landowner, he didn't have the right equipment, and so we do. So we're going to step in and clean that debris up. Yes, ma'am.
Monument's gonna fix the tomb rocks.
Okay, so they're going to fix the tombstone. Does Tom know that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we'll make sure that the road department and Tom work together. But if y'all have any issues along the way, definitely call Roy and Wendy. See y'all back here. Somebody's back here hiding. Appreciate y'all being here. Under correspondence.
Before you start, I would have bet $500 that Margie Story couldn't have kept him talking before she got out of here. But she does.
It's always good to see Margie.
She did all her talking before.
Yeah.
The National Day of Prayer is going to be May 3rd at 11 a.m. Here at the courthouse. If inclement weather occurs, we'll move in like we did the one year. We'll move into the fiscal courtroom. I think we've already posted this on county Facebook and webpage, but it'll be this Thursday, May 3rd at 11 a.m. here at the courthouse.
Shay Nickel coming again?
Yes. He said he's going to have you sing with him, Johnny.
I know. Cox will sing solo this year.
Yeah.
Him and Jeff singing this year.
I put on here under correspondence, really this is just for, and we're going to put this on Facebook and our webpage. This is for anybody out there that has or knows any veteran that may have PTSD and is in need of a canine. There is one canine available. And if they can contact my office, there are prerequisites that have to be met for the veteran, but there is a canine available, and we want to get this information out so that if there's any veterans in Marshall County, and it's not specific to Marshall County, it can be anywhere in the western part of the state. And in some cases, even southern Illinois are bordering states. But the goal is to get these canines to these veterans that have PTSD. So if there's anybody out there that's going to be listening, or if the media is going to be printing anything, have them contact my office, and we'll make sure that they get the proper documentation to submit, and we'll get that moving forward. I just want to make that public announcement. Under correspondence, Kentucky Board of Emergency Medical Services block grant, $10,000. You should have that in your packet. We'll be receiving that again. I believe, is that annually that they've awarded that to us?
Yes.
There are some requirements there under statute, but those I think we meet each year. Old business, approve the minutes for April 17th meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, Brian couldn't make it today, but the bid for the power loading cot fastening system, we had to rebid that. Are you here for, Stephen's here? Okay.
So,
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this was advertised on Tuesday, April 17th, 2018 in the Marshall County Tribune Courier. Marshall County Fiscal Court is currently accepting bids for a power loading ambulance cot fastening system. System must be compatible with the Stryker power stretchers, provide a linear guide when loading and unloading the cot, inductive charging feature, and also provide a manual backup in the event of a power failure. To obtain bid specifications, please contact Marshall County Ambulance Service at 270-527-1243. Bids must be sealed and turned into the Judge Executive Office at 1101 Main Street, Benton, Kentucky, no later than 4:00 p.m. on Monday, April 30th. The Fiscal Court reserves the right to reject any and all bids. And there was one bid. This was received on April 24th at 9:03 a.m. This is from Stryker. Total cost is $25,705.
While he's looking at that, under old business, the Calvert City Road hydraulic study, we had brought this to the fiscal court to see if the hydraulic study would indicate to allow a aluminum box culvert, and it didn't indicate it would take. So it was a good attempt, but we're going to have to be putting in the bridge structure. So this is just the hydraulic study that was done by Bacon Farmer Workman.
He's good with it.
Okay. So Stephen says it's good. Is there any discussion on the power load cutting?
That's the same as it was last time? Right, I understand that, but the first time, well, I think we've been through this process before, and it was identical total from last time.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Motion to approve the purchase.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Under new business, coroner Tracy Watwood. Is Tracy here? He's hiding behind the podium.
Absolutely, he's right back there.
Do you want to give us the vehicle trade that you're wanting to do?
When I was appointed to the position, I met with Barry and with Kurt, and Kurt's not here today, and we went over some of the needs that were needed in the office, and one of their concerns was the vehicle we had was not adequate for what for the purposes of what we were doing. I've done some research. I've looked around for 4 months now, and basically what they said, what Barry and Kurt would like to have and what would meet our needs would be a four-wheel drive Suburban type vehicle. I've talked to Mitchell Lee, and I've talked to some of the people at the ambulance service as well. That meets our needs. I've found one that we can trade our current vehicle for and owe $900. So basically we're trading a vehicle and $900 for a four-wheel drive vehicle that we can use year-round that meets our needs. Back during the winter months, and if in the slightest bit of snow, the van that we have now won't go. We've had to have the sheriff's department and their Humvees go out, take a coroner out to pick up bodies and to notify families because we just don't have a vehicle that'll work during the snow. So this is something that would meet our needs.
Sound like a no-brainer, $900?
$900 difference.
Total value is not over 20.
Total value? No, sir.
Move that we approve.
That's a bargain.
And that's using 900 out of your budget?
That's $900 that we currently have in our budget, yes. So it's not actually any extra monies coming from the fiscal court that's not already been approved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Would you get me a vehicle like that, $900? Get me the same deal?
I'll try.
That's a pretty good deal.
I'll let you ride in this one.
Okay. No, I don't want to anytime soon, thanks.
Yeah, I don't want to ride in.
You're the front seat.
Appreciate the offer, though. I'll drive.
Under new business, proclamation Nurse Appreciation Week. I'll just read this. National Nurses Week 2018. The American Nurses Association, Marshall County Judge Executive Proclamation, whereas registered nurses in the United States constitute our nation's largest and most trusted healthcare profession, and whereas the depth and breadth of the registered nursing profession meet the different and emerging healthcare needs of the American population in a wide range of settings, and whereas the American Nurse Association, as the voice for registered nurses in this country, is working to chart a new course for a healthy nation that relies on increasing delivery of primary and preventive health care. And whereas a renewed emphasis on primary and preventive health care will require better utilization of all of our nation's registered nursing resources. And whereas professional nursing has been demonstrated to be an indispensable component of the safety and quality of care of hospitalized patients. And whereas the demand for registered nursing services will be greater than ever because of the aging of the American population, the continuing expansion of life-sustaining technologies, and the explosive growth of home health care services. And whereas more qualified registered nurses will be needed in the future to meet this increasingly complex needs of healthcare consumers in this community. And whereas the cost-effective, safe, and high-quality healthcare services provided by registered nurses will be an increasingly important component of the U.S. healthcare delivery system in the future. Whereas, along with the American Nurses Association, the Kentucky Nurses Association has declared the week of May 6th to the 12th as National Nurses Week with the theme, Nurses Inspire, Innovate, and Influence, in celebration of the ways in which registered nurses advocate for high-quality patient care and to map out the way to improve our healthcare system. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Judge Kevin Neal, has asked all residents of Marshall County join me in honoring the registered nurses who care for all of us, and be it further resolved that the residents of Marshall County, Kentucky celebrate registered nurses' accomplishments and efforts to improve our healthcare system and show our appreciation for the nation's registered nurses, not just during this week, but at every opportunity throughout the year. Therefore, the Marshall County Fiscal Court does hereby proclaim May 6th to the 12th as National Nurses Week in Marshall County, given under my hand this first day of May 2018. And that's another profession that we all know is very difficult and
Underappreciated.
that's right. New business, the sheriff's settlement of 2017 property taxes. Should have that in your packet.
Motion to approve the settlement, subject to audit.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Sheriff's settlement of 2017 franchise taxes.
Motion to approve franchise tax settlement.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Sheriff's settlement of 2017 unmined mineral taxes.
Motion to approve the settlement, unmined mineral taxes, subject to audit.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You should have in your packet the East Marshall Fire Protection District audit for June 30th of 2017.
Move that we recognize that we've received the audit.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. This is, in your packet, you should have Brian Miles's receipt for lodging. We just need fiscal court approval to pay
Move
this.
that we consider and approve expenses for mileage, meals, and hotel rooms.
Second.
Do we have those?
Yes, I gave those the day he left. I
Okay.
gave those.
There's
brought
a
those to the
first. Is there a
treasurer's
second?
office.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's see. Resolution and agreement, Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. This is, just read it. Fiscal Court, Marshall County Resolution adopting and approving the execution of rural secondary program agreement between the Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being a part of the county road system. Be it resolved by the Fiscal Court that the Fiscal Court does hereby certify that all roads and streets referred to in said agreement are county roads as defined in KRS 178010 subsection 1 and B. And the Fiscal Court does hereby ratify and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in said agreement, and does hereby accept said agreement, and by such acceptance agrees to all the terms and conditions therein stated. And the county judge executive of the county is hereby authorized and directed to sign said agreement as set forth on behalf of the Fiscal Court of Marshall County. And the county clerk of Marshall County is hereby authorized and directed to certify thereto. You got the agreement up there? Are there any, this is the Calvert City Bridge. I think it's the branch location. The 136,061 rural secondary funds are going to be applied to putting in this new bridge. We had them, we had the Transportation Cabinet expedite this resolution, this agreement, so that we could get started. We have to have this signed and agreed to before the work can actually begin. So Smith had a contract agreement to have this completed by the end of June. So are there any questions on this agreement? Do what?
What will the load range of the new bridge be?
Right now, it's 9 tons.
I know.
I don't know what it dropped from. Do you know, Roy?
No, and you're asking what it's going to be?
What it's going to be.
What the new bridge is going to be. I'm not sure on that.
Wasn't it 20 tons?
20 is what
That's my recollection. I know it was, obviously the laws changed anything, before, the state went out, it was 18 and nothing had to be marked. Well, now everything has to be marked, so, that's changed, but I think it's 20. That made it.
I know when I talked to the Transportation Cabinet representative, the load being dropped, if it's at 9, they can come in and drop it to 3, and that pretty much is limits, it's a bus route, so we definitely need to get this done. Is there a motion to approve this agreement?
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bid advertisement for 3 3/4-ton pickup trucks for the road department. Did you get those? Or no, we need approval for a bid advertisement.
Approve the bid, yeah. I'll make a motion to approve, we allow the bid to go forward on 3/4 pickup trucks.
That will be purchased in this budget or the upcoming budget?
We need maybe a notice paid next fiscal year.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're approving for the budget that starts July 1st, 2018 then, correct?
I believe that's correct.
Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bid advertisement, mulching head attachment for skid steer for the road department.
Motion we approve to go forward with a bid advertisement for the mulching and attachment.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And then
That would be for this fiscal year.
yes, the mulching, head attachment,
That's in this year's budget?
That from the fire.
now, I think we
No,
budgeted for that.
New equipment.
Okay, just new. All right.
We have time to do that? Advertise and,
Yes. We're probably gonna have to have at least one, maybe two special call meetings
pretty close.
because of budget amendments because I've got to get a budget amendment through also, so.
The bid advertisement for animal control vehicles.
Motion to approve going forward with a bid advertisement, Judge.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Is that this year's budget or next year, July 1st, 2018? Okay.
The bid advertisement for financial institution quotes.
Move we go forward with a bid advertisement for financial institution quotes.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 2018-04, budget fiscal year 18-19, first reading.
This is the first reading of the fiscal year 18-19 budget. An ordinance relating to the annual budget and appropriations be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County, Kentucky, Section 1, the following budget is adopted for the fiscal year 2018-2019 in the amount stated or appropriated for the purposes indicated. General Fund, General Government, $6,497,827. Protection to persons and property, $511,225. General Health and Sanitation, $318,800. Social Services, $106,800. Recreation and Culture, $951,600. Debt Service, $61,745. Capital Projects, $290,000. General Services, $425,500. Reserve, $66,295. Fringe Benefits, $407,750 for total general fund of $9,637,542. Road Fund, Transportation Facilities and Services, 0. Roads, $3,475,215. Fringe Benefits, $614,810 for a total budget of $4,090,025. Jail Fund, Protections to Persons and Property, $1,709,150. Fringe, $795,000. Total Jail Fund, $2,504,150. Grant Fund, 0. Any of those would be amended in throughout the year. 911 Fund, Protection to Person and Property, $487,900. Reserves, $22,700. Fringe Benefits, $171,400 for a total 911 budget of $682,000. Occupational Tax Administrator Fund, General Government, $60,000. Investments, $3 million. Total Occupational Tax Administrator Fund, $3,060,000. Alcohol Beverage Control, $70,510. For ABC Administrator, Policing and Enforcement, $244,200. Reserves, $600. Fringe Benefits, $29,800. Total ABC Funds, $345,110. Building Inspection Fund, Building Inspection, $238,200. Reserves, $14,700. Fringe Benefits, $18,600 for a total of $271,500. Total annual budget to $20,590,327. The notice of availability is all interested persons and organizations in Marshall County are hereby notified that a copy of the county's proposed budget in full is available for public inspection at the Office of the County Judge Executive during normal business hours.
We will set probably next fiscal court meeting, we'll set a day for budget workshop to go over the budget. So if there's any questions, just ask y'all to take the budget that you've got, review it, and then be prepared to bring your comments and stuff to the workshop. The Hardin Community Building rental deposit, just to bring to your attention, did we get quotes on that? For the keys? Did we get anybody? Scott? Were you gonna check on quotes, for the keys, rekeying the? Okay, we may try to find some other quotes out there, but the deposit in the agreement that we have, the lease agreement, is $20. They're having a problem with individuals that pay $20 as a deposit to get the keys, and then they don't return the keys. So we've got individuals that are out there that have possession of keys that can gain access to a county facility. And the one quote that we got from Hardin to replace the keys and the lock was $150. So I don't think we're looking at this for the best interest of the taxpayer. It's costing us $150 to replace the lock and keys, and we're only doing a $20 deposit. So we're going to try to get some quotes. I would suspect that there's probably a better cost out there to replace lock and keys, but it
What
looks.
about the electronic keys or the keypad? I mean, I know it'd be a little bit more, but then you could change that code whenever you wanted to.
We can check on that cost too. 'Cause I know we've changed the locks in the past 3 years several times. So, and that might
Those
solve
type
the
of locks
problem.
have come down. I know they're a lot less expensive than they used to be.
Can you check on that? We'll check on that. That might solve the problem. Just wanted to update you on that. Let's see, appropriations transfer.
In reviewing this morning, in conjunction with the prior budget amendment, I'm not sure I need to make all of these transfers. So if it is permissible, I would ask for permission to make these transfers, but not to exceed these transfers. Some of these transfers I may not make at all. But I could give you an update of where we are, because I think we need to keep a visual on where we are with budget reserves for this fiscal year as we move throughout the end of the year. The ones in particular that I think I will probably not make or not make as large is the moving from general fund reserves into the road fund reserves. And then from road fund reserves, I have to distribute it out. For the bridge, the bridges that we anticipate to put in this fiscal year, and the paving and the equipment, I may not need to move that much of reserves over there.
Motion to approve the budget transfers not to exceed these numbers.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Back on the bridge, the agreement requires it to meet or exceed H20 loading, which specifies that the truck axle loading of 32,000 pounds or wheel loading of 16,000 pounds.
Say that again.
20 tons has to exceed.
No,
Did you say
that's more, no. That's just the requirement for this H20 loading, and that's the only specification in the agreement.
Say that again, what you said, I didn't hear you.
The agreement requires that it meet H20 loading.
At a minimum.
Yeah. And the truck axle, and H20 loading it specifies truck axle loading of 32,000 pounds or wheel loading of 16,000 pounds.
Well, that's the same thing I saw. That's where I got the 20, which was incorrect then. I thought that H20 meant 20 tons, so. The school bus weighs roughly 16 tons.
16,
so-
I mean, that's 16 tons.
That's
what it
16
is.
tons.
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Approve payment of the bills.
Motion to pay the bills, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I meant to put on here Fifth Avenue project, the construction project, just to give everybody an update. They've already started the stripping. The plan that Smith Contract's gonna be doing, they're gonna start on the north side of Fifth Avenue, at the first entrance to Walmart. As they shut down that entrance anywhere from a half a day to a day while they strip the pavement, the other entrance to Walmart will be open. And so when they get done with that entrance and they open it up, they'll move to the second entrance to Walmart and do the exact same thing. So they will do this all the way down the north side of Fifth Avenue, and the businesses on the north end, they all have multiple access points. So just to update the citizens, if they don't have any business going down Fifth Avenue, it'd probably be one of the best things that they can do is avoid that while the construction is going on. But if they do, obviously, like the Sheriff's Department, they will shut down the judicial building access, and then everybody will have to use the access at the light. And talking with the Seth with Jim Smith Construction, it's anywhere maybe from a half a day to a day. So once they do that all the way down to the co-op, they'll turn around, they'll do the south side of Fifth Avenue. And the biggest concern is emergency responders for emergency situations. We sat down, I had emergency management sit down with us, so they're going to be updating the agencies locally as far as they move along, which roads or intersections they shut down.
Say that again about Walmart. You said the Ash Street is, well, they're gonna shut that one down first, and they're gonna have to go down to the next one?
Yeah,
They're
that has limited access.
Yeah, very much so. That's,
Yeah.
you can only turn one way when you come out and turn one way going in.
It's gonna be a mess.
Yeah, they're shutting down the one by Subway first.
Oh, that was gonna be the
Yeah.
first
Okay, the
one,
one with
okay.
Subway
All right.
first.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna strip that, and then they're gonna work their way down from.
Okay, all right.
That
But,
Life Associates building is, I don't think they have but one access.
Are they on the north side?
Wild hair, that doesn't either.
That's one access for them, though. But that's,
Yeah, that's gonna be a difficult spot right there, because it is with just one access there, unless Country Chevrolet will let them go through that gravelled lot where,
behind the building, yeah.
yeah. That's another possible access point that way.
And that one will likely take longer than any of them because that, where the creek is,
Mm-hmm.
all the extra work.
When they do the south side, obviously the work that they do on the north side, they'll have to travel. But unless you have business going down Fifth Avenue, the best option is just to avoid it. And it is going to be under construction for the next 2 years.
Real day's gonna be fun, Joe.
The state is going to be the primary as far as putting the information out. But as far as our local emergency agencies, emergency management office is going to stay in contact and update them so that they're aware as they move along in their project where the hazards are going to be at. TVA is also going to have a public meeting. I'm going to put this on the webpage and Facebook. This is an opportunity for public input. So I just received this. I'll just read it. Because of the importance of TVA public land to the region and to its mission of service, it is TVA's duty to prevent abuse and destruction of the public land and manage and take necessary steps to remedy unauthorized uses and encroachments. TVA has proposed a public land protection policy which lays the foundation for TVA to take necessary steps to strengthen its efforts in protection of public land. You can find the proposed policy on our website at www.tva.com. /PLP. TVA welcomes your input and feedback on the proposed public land protection policy and will accept comments until May 18th. You may provide comments on the website or mail your comments to the address below. The address below is Millie Warren, that's Milli, Senior Specialist Stewardship Compliance, Tennessee Valley Authority, 400 West Summit Hill Drive, WT 11A through K, Knoxville, Tennessee 37902. By way of example, in your thoughts and public land protection issues, one, how TVA should address abuse and destruction of TVA public land from activities like trash dumping, off-road motorized vehicles, ATV abuse, and unauthorized vegetation removal. Two, what level of enforcement you expect from TVA regarding public land protection. And three, ideas for educational opportunities and activities TVA can do to prevent abuse and destruction of TVA public land. So we'll upload this to our Facebook page and our webpage. Just to remind everybody, tonight is the Facebook Live for Southwest One through Economic Development Director Josh Tubbs. We'll all be doing that tonight at 6 o'clock. We need to go in executive session for litigation.
Motion to go into executive session for litigation.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That was, litigation was the opioid litigation update. I don't think there's any further discussion, so is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.